Hey, what's up everyone? My name is Brianna Fox and today I'm going to show you how to create this makeup look right here using every single brush in the brush set that I created with Sigma. This brush set has 5 different brushes to create an entire full face of makeup. Each brush is dual purpose. So if you're a beginner and you've never bought a brush in your life, this is all you would need. If you're a professional and you're looking for those staple brushes that you know that you can rely on, this is what you need. If you're traveling and you don't want to bring 500 brushes with, this is what you need. So I was very, very intentional and specific with the brushes that we created and designed and included in this brush set. So I'm so excited to show you how to use them today. So let's get started. So first and foremost, all of Sigma brushes are vegan and cruelty-free. The bristles on every single brush are synthetic, but they're created to mimic animal hair. So it's more hygienic and it's not going to suck up your product. You're gonna get so much longevity out of these brushes, not only because of the fibers of the bristles, but also because of this interlocking system on the ferrule. So it just ensures that your brushes are going to be waterproof. Speaking of waterproof, before you use your brush set, you wanna make sure you wash the brushes first, let them completely dry, and then they're ready to go. When you first receive your brushes, they're gonna be in perfect condition. So I like to rough them up. Make sure you wash them ahead of time so they've got time to expand and fill out to the form that they're meant to be. And the best part is the more that you use your brushes, the more you're going to love them. So let's get started. So the first brush in this set is the Fox 4 brush. And this was the first brush I wanted to design because this is kind of like your go-to face brush that you can use for literally anything on your face. I'm just taking a little bit of foundation on the back of my hand and then I'm working the brush into my hand and working the product into the brush. I'm gonna take this and just start stippling it on my skin. You can do swirl motions, you can do push drags, kind of like I'm doing now, like pushing and dragging down. And just use this to work the product into the skin. This makes the foundation just look really, really natural. It's not going to apply too full of a coverage or too sheer of a coverage, but it's very versatile in that you can always build up your foundation with this brush if you do prefer something a little bit more full. It's very flexible, so you can move it around your brows. So now I'm gonna use concealer. I'm just gonna put this underneath my eyes. I'm gonna take the brush and I'm just gonna go like this on the back of my hand because this is the shape that we are going to create with this brush. It's really nice and flexible so you can really mold it to your face, have it go around all of the curvatures that you want. So this is the motion that I'm going to use when I press in the concealer. So I'm gonna put my chin down and look upwards with my eyes. That way this whole entire area is very accessible. And then I can just push the brush in and it's just going to blend out the concealer for me. You can turn it this way so you go sideways. You can turn it vertically and then it's all blended in. You can also open your mouth. Why does opening your mouth make it easier to apply concealer? What I'm gonna do is pick up the cream bronzer straight to the brush and I'm gonna start stippling this onto the skin. So I'm not dragging it, I'm just pushing it in very lightly. Anytime you want to apply a lot of product and a lot of pigment to the skin, hold closer onto the ferrule, this shiny part here, and you will distribute a lot more product that way. But if you wanted to go on a little bit lighter weight or you're not sure how pigmented your product is gonna be, at first pull back onto the handle. That's going to apply a lot lighter weight of product onto the skin. Bringing this up here on the side of the forehead. Gonna get that jawline. Okay, so moving on to blush, I'm gonna use the same Fox 4 brush to apply my blush. So I pick the product up directly on the brush and I start stippling it on the skin. Or you can do kind of like a push drag motion. So you just push it and then pull away like that. Now for highlighter, I'm gonna use the same Fox 4 brush to apply the cream highlighter. And then I'm gonna show you the next brush that you can use powder highlight for. So I'm gonna pick up the cream highlighter right here on the back of my hand and start stippling it right here on the cheekbones. So the next brush that we have in the set is the Fox 5 brush. This is the same thing as the Sigma F35 brush, the tapered highlighter brush. This is one of my favorites, one of my go-tos. What makes this one unique is that this one has the black gloss ferrule, so it's gonna stand out from your other F35 brushes. Use this to set right here where I get oily, right here on the cheeks, the chin, and in between the brows and the center of the forehead. So I'm gonna pick up some powder highlight directly on this brush and pop this right on the cheekbones. So if you didn't want to use a cream highlighter, I would recommend this one for powder highlight. It's like the perfect size to go right here on the brow bone and then create this little V or C shape right here to go onto the cheekbone. I usually like to pick up my highlighter with my finger and pop it on the nose and the Cupid's bow. And then I take my brush and just blend it out. It's the perfect size to diffuse it. Okay, moving on to eyeshadow. My eyes are already prepped and primed and ready to go. The first brush I'm gonna be using is the Fox 1 brush. This is the biggest, fluffiest brush in the set. The first thing I do is I actually go like this after washing them. I didn't wash this one because I wanted to show you that you can still use it even if you don't wash it right away, but I like to rough up mainly my eyeshadow brushes just because I don't want them to be too perfect, right? Fresh out of the packaging. I'm gonna start by using the Sigma Warm Neutrals palette, and I'm going to begin with my crease transition shade. This is a nice domed shaped fluffy brush, so it's perfect for applying products in a more broad area. So I'm gonna take the color Toasty right here, and I'm going to start by doing little circles on the outer corner here, and then I'm gonna work it into the crease. You can see where I'm holding halfway down on the handle, and it's the perfect shape. I love domed shaped brushes. Just taking this over on this side as well. I'm gonna keep my chin down, and with my eyes, I'm gonna look up like we did when we were doing our concealer, and take this brush vertically underneath, not like this, straight up and down like this, and just wiggle this on the bottom lash line. It's really, really soft. It's big and fluffy, so it's just gonna do the work for you. All you have to do is just rub it in there. I'm going to very lightly go into the color Henna. I'm gonna start building this up again. You see I'm further back on the brush here. This is a darker shade, so I'm putting this on the outer area of my eye. Wiggle this underneath. Okay, now we are gonna make this a little bit more dramatic and deepen it up a little bit. I'm gonna go into the Fox 2 brush. This is a domed shaped fluffy brush as well, except it's just a little bit smaller. It's basically just like the mini version of this brush. I designed this because I wanted something that you could use for cream products. You could use it for blending out your eyeshadow. It's very, very versatile. This is gonna be your best friend. So same thing, I like to go in and just rough it up a little bit. I'm gonna go into the color After Hours. I'm going to push and stamp this on the outer corner. You can see it's applying the product way more intensely. And also this is a darker color, so it's gonna go on darker. But this brush is just a little bit more dense than the other one. They're both very flexible and fluffy, and they're gonna blend out nicely without giving you any like harsh edges or harsh lines or anything like that. But this one is more dense, and so the bristles are closer together and there's more of them there. So this is just gonna make it so that you can apply your eyeshadows in a more focused area. Next, I'm gonna use the Fox 3 brush. This is the same thing as the Sigma E15. I included this into the set because this is one of my favorite brushes ever of all time, and so it had to be in this set. This is something you can use for so many different things, which you can catch the trend here. I wanted this to be a very versatile set that you can use for so many different things with your makeup. So I'm gonna show you how I like to use this and then give you a couple of other tips for how you can use this as well. So I'm gonna start by using this just to highlight my brow bone. I'm using the same color that I used on my face to highlight. That's my favorite way to highlight my eyeshadow. So I'm just taking this right underneath. You can actually use this brush to fill in your brows if you like to use like a gel or a powder. You can use this to contour your nose and your lips with. You can use this for regular liner, winged liner, but my favorite way is to use it for smoking out the shadow on the top as well as the bottom lash line. I'm gonna use Russet and After Hours shades mixed together. I'm gonna take the mirror down here and look right down into it, and I'm pushing those shadows right here on the lash line, and then I'm gonna flick them upwards using the Fox 3 brush. I'm gonna bring the mirror upwards and look up into it, put my chin down so I can precisely start to define the lower lash line to really kind of give that smokiness on the bottom as well. I'm using the Fox 2 brush to diffuse this shadow, buff it out, make it nice and smoky. With my finger, I'm just gonna take the color Beaming, and I'm just gonna tap this on the center of the lid
and I've got talons, so this is a little difficult.
Okay, so I just completed this look with my favorite lashes and lip combo, and the look is complete. I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial and seeing how to use my brush set in action. Make sure you tag us on social media in your looks that you create with the brush set, and I hope you guys love it as much as I do. Thanks for watching.